The Dawn of Fire series are definitely books! Well, hello there, I'm Kindred Under Review, and welcome to my first ever video. I'm now your problem, and you can't do nothing about it. As I start talking about books I have read so far in this series, I will say I don't want to spoil anything in the books for people. I just want to say my thoughts, my rants, and generally what I rate each of the 4 books I have read so far in this series. That's all that's really going to be in this video. But with that out of the way, let's get started. The first book in the Dawn of Fire series is Dawn of Fire Avenging Sun. I'll go ahead and say it. It's about a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not bad by any means, but it's kind of average, honestly. The most notable thing about the book is the one sub-storyline that I just hate. I'll get into that later, but let me talk about the book as a whole first. The book as a whole is a setup book. It introduces characters that the books will follow and a bit of their dynamics. So I'll give it a pass for being average. What I can't give it a pass for is the stupid subplot that ends in such a terrible way. I can't stand it up. This is going to be a rant. First, let me say, I don't care if this is spoilers, but you must be warned about this terrible subplot. The point of a story, no matter what, is to tell a complete and compelling narrative, but this subplot fails to do so. It's about this woman that gets a letter, and she feels deep down that it is the Emperor's will for her to take this letter up the chain of command. But only for it to be ended after trials and tribulations that she has gone through, for it to end with her and many other individuals going to the office of the this must go to this one guy is who you must take this letter to. Multiple people go there. He's not there. He's gone. His office is to be, all the letters are to be put inside of his office for it to then be sealed shut until someone else can take his place, which, can take a while. It is Warhammer. It can take a dig dang while. So it's this unsatisfying narrative of a story that ultimately doesn't go anywhere. And it does come up later in some books. But the fact that this is the first book and you end it with such a unsatisfying narrative, because it's tied up at the last hour or two of the book. It's very end. So, it lasts throughout this whole book and it's so unsatisfying. But, yeah. But nonetheless, that's my only actual problem with the book. It's okay after that still. It is a good book. It's average. It does lay the groundwork for a very solid foundation for good stories and good characters, because I do like all the characters they introduce in the story. But yeah, it lays a very solid foundation for this story, and I quite enjoy through the books I have read so far about where they have taken it. Book 2 of the series, Gate of Bones. Do you like guardsmen? Do you like knights? Do you like the Golden Banana Men? If so, you'll love this book. I don't actually have much to say about this book that doesn't go into the story, but I'll get into that later. What I do want to say is that this book is a lot better. Solid 4 out of 5, I'd say. Not a masterpiece, but a good ride all throughout. Going into the story, a very brief overview. It talks about kind of the Hand of Abaddon. There's this planet that they're invading. That's some relic, magic MacGuffin that they're after. You kind of get introduced to a overall story, and kind of the point of the book story is to introduce you to the villains of the Dawn of Fire series overall, and it does a very good job in introducing them. You get kind of an idea of these villains, and I honestly really like them. They're very good. Wolf, 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 wolves. The third book in this series, Wolf Time. It's about the space wolves. Do you like space wolves? I kind of don't. But this book is still very good. A solid 4 out of 5. Very good book. It's a weirdly kind of a coming of age story about the Primaris Space Marines of the Space Wolves trying to earn the respect of the old Firstborn Marine Space Wolves, and it's very good. Not going to get into any spoilers about this book. This is kind of where I'm going to leave it off, but it's just a very good book. Yeah, it's very simple. Has nothing to do with the story told in the second book or anything set up in the first book, but it's still a very good book overall. The fourth book and the final book in this video, as you can probably tell on the time thing, but it's a Throne of Light. It's a Black Templar book. Unlike book 3, it's all about the plot. It's very heavily into it. They go a lot more into the Hand of Abaddon and this female wizard character that he kind of took off that planet with him when they made their grand escape. Say this book is about a 4 out of 5, honestly. It is very solid. I have less to say about this one too, as it would involve spoilers, and I don't really want to do that. I just trying to give another very brief overview. There's a message on a planet that everyone's trying to find. That's kind of it. And there's also the plot of how some of the Black Templars reacted to the Primaris Marines. As I said, there's no real way of talking about it without spoiling it. So yeah, endings are weird, right?